This first clip is a follow-up to my first video on the interchange at I-55 and I-90-94 with Dan Ryan and Stevenson. I made 2 attempts at it, and there were issues. Anyway, this is the 3rd attempt. I'm starting to film a little bit earlier, the clip earlier, so you can see something that pops up here on my screen. There it is again. The thing that's popping up is saying that nav on autopilot is limited because of construction. There's obviously construction going on there, but the car did perfectly fine getting through there. So what that means is perhaps if I had to do a lane change or something, it wouldn't let it. I don't exactly know, but anyway, we're headed to that interchange, and I'll show you what happens on the 3rd attempt. Everything actually goes well here. The reason the car obviously wants to be in the left lane of the 2 lanes ramping on to the outbound Stevenson is because at the end of the ramp you're going to have to merge left to get on to the Stevenson and go on and head south on I-55. So we're coming up to it here shortly. It's showing that there's 2 lanes on the ramp going on to the Stevenson, and the autopilot keeps the car tracking on into the 2nd lane of the 2. Okay, moments away from making the right ramp to the southbound Stevenson. Here it is, and it keeps me in the left lane of the 2 lanes. Does it beautifully, no problems, no takeover warnings, just did it. I never made a bug report the first time when this happened, when it had me take over because it couldn't determine whether to go to the north or south ramp. So honestly, after 3 attempts here, I don't know this for a fact, but it appears the software has actually learned how to do this without that issue. Either way, it's definitely working now. Here we're seeing how full autopilot ramps on the Expressway. Does a great job. It does start accelerating towards the top of the ramp. You can touch the speed limit sign and it will set the TACC at whatever the speed limit is on the road. Here in this stretch of interstate is 55 miles an hour. I have the autopilot programmed for O'Hare Airport, so I'm headed to the I-90, I-94 split. We'll be headed out on I-90 west towards O'Hare. I've actually done this before, and it does do it very nicely and correctly, although it takes some time on getting over into the left lanes. So I'm going to move the car ahead here and use the autopilot to shift it over a couple of lanes. I really only like being in the right lane when I'm working my way off of an interstate to an off-ramp. So I'm kind of jumping a little ahead with the autopilot, but in my past test, it does fine, telling you when to merge over to get into the correct lane to get on I-90 West. So actually I'm already set up in the correct lane when we get to the junction. Okay, here we are at the junction, and we're going to be going out on I-90 West 3 lanes here. The car navigator is way into this lane. I've changed navigation to a point just off of Lawrence to show you how the nav and autopilot ramps off an expressway on its own. Pretty cool. Okay, here we come up to the ramp. The car turns on the signal on its own, starts ramping off, and lets you know that it's going to disengage navigation and autopilot. The car is going to start slowing down on its own. And now navigation and autopilot's off, and I'm going to disconnect the other 2 portions of autopilot, and just that's that. Beautiful, perfect off-ramping on navigation autopilot. Okay, we're going to do one more nav on autopilot off-ramping. Inbound on the Kennedy, we're going to ramp off at Armitage. Okay, that's telling me I've got to move over to the right lane coming up here shortly. And that's telling me where the ramp is that I'll be getting off at Armitage. So I've initiated the lane change, and it's not going to do it because there's a car going by me, so it's going to hold off. Once the car clears me, the autopilot will move the car over to the right lane. Here comes the car ramping on. The car sees it. There it is. No problem. Alright, we're just under a mile away from the Armitage ramp. Okay, I got a warning that came up here. It's telling me that the navigation autopilot is going to disengage. It's just disengaged. So it's not taking the ramp on its own. I've got to have the autopilot do it to shut everything off. No, manually driving the car. I actually went and did this a second time, and I had the same problem. For some reason, inbound on the Kennedy, it's not. Navigation autopilot is not initiating the off ramp for whatever reason. Okay, there you have it.